Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dalaran, and in today's video I'm going to be talking to you about the Combat Rogue nerf that has happened on January 6th. And the nerf goes, Combat Rogue can no longer stun a target for 8 seconds. The max you can stun a target for is 6 seconds. So when you reveal and strike 5 combo point kidney, you can no longer stun a target. RIP combat, right? Well, let's break down analytically what the issue is. At first, I thought maybe the issue was the Shadow Reflection kidney 12-second duration kind of wombo combo, but if that was it, then they probably would have nerfed Shadow Reflection. And on top of that, Shadow Reflection can be killed off pretty easily, so that definitely isn't the issue. The issue was the 8-second stun, and I guess Blizzard figured that that was just too much pressure for combat to be able to put out in arenas and gave it too much of an edge. When those kind of things happen, I usually don't like to see the spec that's ahead being nerfed, but rather the other two specs being buffed in a way that they're more competitive with the one that's leading the charge. But I guess Combat Rogues are getting the nerf bad like that, and it's kind of a bummer. We did get a 10% attack buff, as well as the other rogue specs got attack, damage buffs themselves as well. I did test this, the 6-second stun and the 10% attack damage for arenas, and it doesn't feel any of that much different. First of all, the 6 seconds, it still is a viable stun. No longer do I have to reveal and strike a target, so I guess it saves me a global cooldown and 40 energy, as if that was really all that much of difference. I didn't really notice too much of a change to it. I'm no longer running Shadow Reflection with it though, just because during Shadow Reflection what was great about it is the 12-second stun, the 4-second back-to-back, the 8 seconds, then back-to-back 4-second stun. Now you're gonna stun somebody for 6 seconds, then there's a 2-second window before you can stun somebody else, and then your Shadow Reflection stuns for 3 seconds. So the stuns are definitely shorter with a a 2-second window that you can pop with, and you can kind of get out of it much easier. There's a loss of pressure of this kind of deal for sure, and it definitely, I feel like, it's going to be less viable. What I found more viable is to grab venomous wounds and just recycle through my cooldowns, recycle through my combo points, generate as much energy as I can, get into deep inside as fast as I can, stun for 6 seconds, killing spree, and hope for the best. And that's been a pretty good, pretty viable choice. Another thing that I do have a kind of concern with: what should we run now? Internal bleeding or prayer in the weak? Internal bleeding is still strong on its own, with the reveal and strike needed though, but you only get a 6-second stun, but the bleed is still present and it's still there, so it's still viable. But now, prayer in the weak, let's say in an arena team running with a red paladin or maybe frost mage, somebody who's really bursty, you no longer need to reveal and strike, then apply the combo points. So you're not having to sacrifice a global cooldown and 40 energy. So it's a question of which one is more viable, and I tested both, and it was really hard to decide which one is honestly really more viable. So that's, I guess, my second issue with it was. Third issue that I have with this is people already bought their weapons. So everybody who's been expected to play combat for this whole season bought their 2 swords, 2 maces, fists, and customized them and whatnot. But now maybe some people are gonna have to reroll Subtlety. I can definitely see Subtlety coming up ahead now, since combat no longer has the 8-second stun. So everybody's gonna want to have to get a dagger. So a lot of people are gonna be upset about this. If this change were to happen, maybe it would have been better if it happened earlier, so a lot of people would have got their weapons. I probably still would have gotten the Combat Rogue weapons, because I still like the spec. I still, like to challenge myself. And even if it's gonna go maybe back, unlikely it's gonna go to an underdog spec. But if it ever did, I think I would still have plenty of fun with it. Is Combat Rogue viable in the end? Yes. Is its viability lost a little by losing the 8-second stun? Kind of. As far as I understand, the damage is pretty decent. The stuns are still, working as intended for combat. The only issue I guess I would have with it is no longer do you have the 8-second pressure. So you do have to change your playstyle just slightly, a little bit, just tweak it in order to, I guess, come out ahead. There's a lot of combat rogues that are still trying to get used to this, and I met some of them in arenas today, and it's just, you can definitely see some people that are struggling, and there's some other people that are really able to pick this up and really take full advantage of all the changes. There's some people that can definitely do it better than others, and others struggling. I am one of those people that still somewhat kinda understands it, but not 100% for sure. There's definitely, I have to get used to running venomous wounds now. Death from above is still, I guess, I would say it's not as viable in arenas now. At least now that Shadow Reflection is out, it's really out of the question for me. Maybe it will come back. We don't know. Maybe something will happen and we can still get that back-to-back stun kind of wombo combo. Sentimental notes, I guess. It kind of sucks that combat loses the 8-second stun and killing spree, because I like 8 seconds stun kill speed. I thought it was a cool, unique thing about combat, just combat its own, away from the other specs. I thought it was very gimmicky, and it kind of just attracted. That's one of the things that attracted me to combat. Losing those things kind of sucks, so I am gonna definitely try out other specs. Maybe something about the other specs will entice me to play them, because combat, all it has now is really the killing spree and adrenaline rush, but it's not that much of a cooldown. I definitely am gonna try other specs. If you guys want to see me try the other specs, leave me in the comments below. If you want to see me try battlegrounds, maybe arenas and other specs, I'm definitely gonna try them regardless whether I make videos on them or not. But combat is still playable, combat is still fun, combat is still very much viable, and I will probably end up sticking to it. I just do want to give the other specs a try. Maybe there'll be something about the other two that'll just, you know, inspire me and incite me to go another way, you know, a path less traveled kind of deal. So yeah, this is my thoughts about the Combat Rogue nerf. Tell me what you guys think about the nerf. How do you, just everything you think about it. Tell me your thoughts. Share in the comments below. And if you tell me if you want to see me play other specs of rogues. Hope you guys having a good day. Merry Christmas to everybody in Russia, because it's December 7th. Christos voskres voistinu voskres, I think is a saying in Russia. Hopefully you guys enjoy yourselves, and I'll see you guys in the next video like always.